welcome to another shocking episode of Destiny Digest. We're on episode 116. My name's Danfinity, and I'm your host. We are joined today by many on our panel, including featured guest SherpaMind. Thank you so much for joining today. How are you?
Hello, thank you for having me. I'm good. I'm well. Tired.
Yeah.
It's been a long day, but we'll hang it in there. Had a coffee.
Yeah.
We're good.
That's good. We'll get to learn a little bit more about you here after we do some housekeeping. But Epic Dan and Sammy Cat and Tiddly, how are you guys doing today?
Hello.
Good.
Pretty good.
Hell yeah. Glad to have you. Let's get into some housekeeping, and then we'll talk about like what we've been playing over the past couple weeks, because we haven't done an episode in a while. You can join us live every Sunday night around 3:30 p.m. Pacific, 6:30 p.m. Eastern on twitch.tv/Destiny Digest. You can ask questions live in chat and help us shape the conversation. Episodes go live the next day on YouTube, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and Pocket Casts. You can help others find the show by rating and reviewing the show on your podcast platform of choice. It takes a few seconds. You just have to put like 5 stars in there and then something really nice about Sammy Cat. That's what you got to do. It's 5 stars and then something nice about our friend Sammy Cat here. Sammy Cat, what would you like them to say about you?
Just say, she's cool and be nice to her and you're glad that she's your friend.
You know what? I dig that. She's cool, be nice to her. You're glad that she's your friend. So, hi guys. How's the past couple weeks gone? SherpaMind, what have you been playing the past couple weeks?
Let's start with our guest.
Yeah.
Hello. I actually have been playing Borderlands 4 a bit. I started that quite casually. Enjoying Rafa quite a bit. But I have been primarily very distracted by Expedition 33. It has finally taken hold. And I'm loving it. It's a phenomenal piece of artwork.
Yeah.
I genuinely cannot say anything bad about it. I really can't.
That's good, because
Probably
people will
my
come
game of the
after you.
Yeah, true. But I honestly feel
Very
this is
true.
my game of the decade for me.
Ooh.
Decade.
Yeah. I like all of the artistry that's gone into it, the sound design, the music. It's just everything has come together so well out of nowhere. It feels like it just appeared this year and it's just taken off, and it's all been word of mouth, and it's just nothing bad has been said, and everything's just been truly justified.
So, a question here, because we've talked about this on the podcast about the game of the decade. Have you played Baldur's Gate 3?
Now, I have not. I'm going to save. I'm saving that first playthrough because my wife has played it. Addie has played it. I want my first playthrough for us to go through it, which is when we get the time to go through.
Yeah.
And then.
Oh, I love that.
That's going to be a lot of fun.
Okay.
But I think the only thing that could probably contend with it will be Baldur's Gate 3, because again, not heard anything bad about it, and I love those kinds of games where you got all those individual decisions and all the passion for the people that have made it, and the actors and the voice actors through it. You can see it in the production quality from the bits I've seen, like all the clips and stuff.
Yes.
So I'm looking forward to giving that a go as soon as I can, as soon as we find the time.
Once you have played Baldur's Gate 3, we will invite you back. So
I will.
I do find it interesting how you play
Yes.
this edition now. It's been a very interesting turn.
Yes.
I feel like it's probably partially because of people not playing that genre. But you're not the first person. I think the last time we talked about it was because someone made they were talking about the Game of the Year awards, and someone was comparing it to Elden Ring, which I don't think is a viable comparison.
Yeah.
No, the very
Because of
different
how
games.
Elden Ring came out of nowhere and kind of swept the entire gaming community for a while.
Yeah.
Which is very similar to what Expedition did, but it's not even From Software's best Souls game. That's
Right.
It's great, but Sekiro's right there. So
That's still on my list to play.
Yeah,
I'm looking
Sekiro,
forward to
yeah.
giving that a try.
But a lot of people, we only mention that because a lot of people that say that hasn't played like some of the, at least some of the ones we feel that are like are a tad bit better overall.
Yeah. Baldur's Gate 3, dude. You got to play that shit.
Yep, I will.
Yeah.
I've got that. I've still got Cyberpunk to play.
Oh my goodness.
I've got
You're
a backlog.
backlogged. You have
You know what?
Destiny or something?
You know what?
Maybe.
It's almost as if other games exist and that you can play them at any time after they release.
Say that on Destiny Digest.
Right? It's almost
where
like
the
you can
beards
do
are
that.
Delicious.
And you can
Wait.
Tiddly, what about you, buddy? What have you been playing the past couple weeks?
I have been in Vegas playing slots.
Oh, IRL gotchas. Gotcha.
Yeah.
I've been playing IRL gotchas. So so we went to Vegas last week, which was super fun. But actually it's really crazy because the I play penny slots, which ends up being like $1 a play anyway, or 75 cents or whatever. So it's a misnomer. It's not like 75, it's like money. But but they make them so they're like video games. And so I actually love it. I love it so much. I love playing slots so much. And I know it's not any way to win money, but it's still really, really fun. So what I do is I have a daily budget. So I'll go in and I'll say, okay, my budget today is like $60 or something like that, $100, whatever.
So 6,000 pennies.
And then I'm like, okay, once my money's gone, then I'm done for today. So I treat it as like I'm spending X amount of money per day on entertainment, and I just don't expect to win anything. Yeah. So I don't get into this mental game of like,
you hard cap yourself.
Yeah, I hard cap myself on my IRL gotcha game. But it's so funny because I go in there and I have my strategy. So what I do is I go and play my slots until I hit the bonus, because that's really where number one, where you make money, and number two, where it does all like the lights and the sound, and it's really fun. So I wait until I hit the bonus, and then I cash out.
That dopamine too.
Yeah. I get the dopamine, I cash out, I move on to the next one, and there's a couple that I love. There's like one with bears and s'mores, which is really good, which is really new, and it plays like music. Is so fun. And then the other one that I love, that I've loved for years, is Planet Moolah, where it's like these cows that like abduct like farm animals or whatever, and then they moo. It's so good. And it's cascading reel, so if you hit like a wild, it'll go moo.
Oh wait, like, Planet Moolah?
Yeah.
I get it. I get the double right there. Yeah.
That is fantastic.
It's so good. I love Planet Moolah. Anyway, so I've been IRL. And I also walk away when I win money. I bank that and I don't spend.
Right.
So like if I start with 60, I win like 20 on a bonus. I'll bank the 20 and then just spend the rest of the 40 on gambling. So I always walk away with money. I'm coming home with money. So
congratulations. That's great.
But also before that, I am up to 350 in leveling. So I'm making some progress, not great progress, but a little progress in Destiny, and that I'm still working on the level grind. But today I played hooky and I did rivals instead. I have Borderlands leveling to do. I'm like not level 50, and I haven't finished the story yet. So I took a week off, and I'm feeling massively behind on all of my games. I'm on like and then I'm like, I don't care. I'm just gonna play rivals.
Yeah.
Yep. So
that's awesome. Sammy Cat, what about you, friend?
I've been playing Destiny.
Okay.
And just the last couple of days, I picked up an old puzzle game, Door from Antique.
Oh,
just to chill out a little bit. Helps the mental health. And I don't know, I lose track of time. It's just gone.
Dude, the soundtrack for that is so hypnotic and just wonderful.
It really is.
Yeah, for those who don't know, it's
time.
You get these like little you get tiles, and they will have like a field, a forest, a town, or a water feature on it, and you have to connect these tiles. You have to connect the tiles to the spaces that they matched with, and you create these huge landscapes that are just very peaceful the entire time.
That sounds lovely.
Yeah, there's like
sounds really fun.
Million point runs of that are insane.
It's hard.
It's
really hard.
Okay,
I highly recommend it. No, it's so hard to get a good score.
Really?
Yeah. Highly recommend it.
Yeah. Such a good game. Such a good game. What power level are you at, Sammy?
I don't know.
Okay.
I stopped power leveling once. It's a portal issue. If I get into
portal
it,
issue.
I'll just keep going.
Well, we could.
I will just keep going. It's up to you.
Yeah, we'll talk about that here in a little bit. Then, Epic Dan, what has your past couple weeks been like?
Past couple weeks have been pretty much just Borderlands.
Yeah.
Just playing Borderlands. Finished 2 of the characters, 2 of the 4, and just spending a lot of time farming for very specific roles on weapons. Just a whole bunch of farming, which is very nice. I'm trying to think, the last time I booted up Destiny, probably like 8 or 9 days ago, I think.
Yeah.
Actually, no, I think because I had to do a bunch of traveling this month. Last time I booted up was Ashen Iron first day or second day, 1 or 2. And since then, I had to focus on like finishing all of the Silk Song, and then had to travel a few times. And then by the time I got back, was just kind of just playing Borderlands.
Yeah.
So I've just been playing way too much Borderlands.
Fair enough. What weapons are you grinding for? Are you going after?
I got to farm for a disc launcher shotgun, having to farm for a perfect roll of like this weapon called Kickballer. Looking to farm for some specific Malawan weapons with Hyperion and Jacob parts. It's a lot.
Yeah.
Looking for very specific
what's a Kickballer?
things. It is a shotgun that shoots out a big kickball.
That sounds really fun.
That
sounds awesome.
But that's very Borderlands.
That is very Borderlands.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Love it.
Like it's very on the nose, but then if you get it with specific part, if you get it with a Jacob's part, it will then ricochet. So you'll have a kickball that'll just bounce all over the world.
Yeah.
So it's not just the Kickballer. You want it with a particular Jacob's roll on it.
Yeah, so like all of the weapons have a manufacturer's part, and each one has different elements tied to it. So like depending on what build I'm trying to work on, I'm having to then farm specific items. Then I got to farm it with a specific role. Then I have to farm it for a specific additional part. It's a lot of farming.
Yeah.
I love it. So
Eddie in chat just said that it makes the boss room a disco floor.
Yeah.
That's so fun.
So if you've ever played Borderlands 3, it's a very similar thing where Jacobs has a part where when you get a critical, it will ricochet. It has a chance to ricochet.
Okay.
And you'll see a line. You'll hear the sound of a ricochet, but you also see a line where the bullet goes somewhere else. That's the ricochet. With certain weapons, if you crit enough times, it will make the ricochet happen almost infinitely.
Okay.
So if you do it enough, you'll literally see just a bunch of ricochets all over the screen.
Yeah.
And because of the way it looks, it does end up looking like a disco room because of what the Kickballer visual is as well. It becomes a light show. The one downside, obviously, is you can kill yourself with it, but there's a fair amount of weapons you can kill yourself with. But hey, the boss is also dead, so, you know.
I love it.
Oh, that's awesome, dude. Yeah, so I've been playing. I guess I'll talk about me now. I've been playing Borderlands 4 as well. Got a code for that. Played with Mod Sherpa and Dunes. I want to say a couple weeks back, and we had Clean Plays came in, and he was like, "Hey, check this out!" And it was like a grenade that just kind of like softly like spun, and as it spun, it would play like a funk music.
Yeah,
it was fucking cool. It was
called the disco something. Yeah, it plays music.
So fun.
It was so cool, and I was like, I was jealous, actively jealous that he had it, because it's just such a neat stupid idea.
It's actually really strong too.
It is okay. Gotcha.
Oh.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So like, yeah, I was just like floored by it. It was just so fucking funny, and like just perfect for the Borderlands sauce.
Yes.
Yeah, I've been
Saucy.
playing Vex. I too need to level up my Vex and get her a little bit higher and proceed in the game. I think I'm like 30%
have
through
time
the story.
though, because the first raids don't drop for a few months, so you have time.
Yeah.
If you care about doing like the Invincibles in the raids.
Yeah. That does sound really fun and something that would add a little bit more variety to the play style. Mr. Kalish in chat says, "You still running the Reapers, Dan?" I'm not still running the Reapers. I went back to the Kitty. The Kitty is
You're running Kitty.
Yeah, I'm running Kitty.
He's cute.
Yeah.
I ran the Eldritch. It's nice. You should.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
I'll mess around with some things.
I swapped that. Yeah.
Eldritch is so good.
I don't mind. I like in that game. I do not mind changing my abilities on a whim, like how I'm feeling that day. So like whatever works. I'm into it. I played Time Flies. Have you guys heard of this?
I've heard of it, but
Okay.
I don't know about it. But I've heard of it.
The game looks like it was illustrated in Paint, like MS Paint.
Yes, I've seen this.
Yes. So you are a fly.
Oh my goodness.
And you have to complete tasks. Yeah.
Yes.
I
Dan,
posted
I saw your
TikTok about
TikTok. I was on TikTok scrolling TikTok, and then I'm like, why is Dan posting a TikTok of a fly on somebody's crotch?
Yeah.
What is going on?
Yeah. It is.
No, it's true.
Super
It's
sick.
happened.
It is like I think it was like $15 on Steam. I think you can also get it on PlayStation. And it's just this dumb little game where you're a fly and you have to complete all the tasks in a run, in one clean run per stage. And they're named in funny ways. The art museum one where the crotch was involved has some of my favorite ones. Like you have to start a revolution, and so you go on this wheel and you have to spin the wheel with the fly, and that's starting a revolution. You have to build a home.
Yeah.
And you're just drawing lines, but you're just connecting the dots on a painting to build out that home for somebody else. That's funny. And then like it said explore sexuality, and so you go over to what is ostensibly the David, and it has a fig leaf over its genitals, and then each run the genitals change, which is great.
It was blurred. I didn't see it on the TikTok.
Yes.
I cannot neither confirm nor deny. It was
I blurred it on TikTok because I was like, I don't know how they're going to view this. So, but every time you go past it, the genitals change as you release the fig leaves.
Well, if that doesn't sell you on the game, I don't know what will.
It's great. It's hilarious. I'm glad the genitals change every run really introduces some variety. Yeah, but like each run you only have like 76 seconds if you live in the United States to get all this stuff done. So it becomes like a speed run game very quickly, and it was very nice. I also played Henry Halfhead. That game was okay. And then I played Baby Steps, which that game.
Oh, how did you like that? So you were excited about that.
It's Bennett Foddy, the creator of Getting Over It.
Yes.
And it is very dumb, very stupid. The sense of humor is right up my alley. I'm going to be playing more of it tonight after we get done with this podcast. And it's just like, it's very dumb. It is, you are climbing a mountain ostensibly, and like you are bumping into Bennett Foddy, and he is like, hey, why don't you piss in this bush? And you're like, but I gotta go somewhere else. And so you try to find the porta potty up on this cliff, and you knock off the porta potty. So that's like, what are you gonna do? And then Bennett Foddy gets mad at you, and you might have wandered off into this one area to see if there was anything beneficial from going to a farm, and you might have picked up like this little tiny chicken chick, and then it starts following you around as you're climbing up the mountain, and you're going up the mountain with this little tiny like this chicken chick, right? And we named it Sven, and right as soon as we named it, it disappeared. So then you're heartbroken for the rest of your
I
time
don't
playing
like
that
this
game?
anymore.
It became a horror game.
Oh, man.
That's terrible. Not
And then-
Sven.
Yeah. And now we're out for revenge for Sven, man, because I don't know what happened to it. And yeah,
That sounds amazing.
it's just
Aw.
chef's kiss, dude.
Wow.
There's so many really good games that are out right now.
Yes.
That said, transitioning over into Destiny 2, I did have a lot of fun on Sunday. I did some helps earlier on Sunday, like while everybody else was doing the epic raid. A lot of the time it was just people helping me out because like I'm fairly low in light. But god damn it, dude. Like I had a lot of fun that day, and it had nothing to do with the loot that I was getting. It had entirely to do with the hangs. Like the people that I was hanging out with, the activities that we were playing while we were hanging out, and it was just a blast. It was the first time that I'd felt like that in probably like since maybe a month after Edge of Fate released. And so like I'm floored by it. Like by how good I felt about it that day. But then again, I wasn't just running portal activities or like actively trying to run it portal activities. So that's a thing. What has everybody else been getting up to in Destiny?
Well, we just recently had the contest raid, right? We had
Yes.
the contest epic raid, which was a lot of fun. I really
Yes.
enjoyed that.
Yes.
it was- honestly,
You're
it was-
the only one of us that played that. So like how
Honestly,
was the experience?
I genuinely loved the experience. I didn't have much in terms of expectation in the sense that I didn't know when they said epic raid, I wasn't sure what they meant by it. It didn't
Right.
really describe it because before you had hard mod raids in D1, you had prestige raids in early D2. So I didn't know whereabouts that was going to sit. Now, so I was expecting like if you take the Wyvern encounter
Right.
in Desert Perpetual, I was expecting something like, oh, the runner has to get a box going up and then have to get it all the way down, because that would then fit with the challenge for the run as well. So that was sort of my inkling, or like with Levy they added more dogs sort of thing in the prestige mode.
Right.
But I think the changes, I think Hydra was the least impactful for me.
Okay.
It just felt a bit more chaotic inside, but everything else outside felt pretty much the same.
Yeah.
It was a lot of fun. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
I enjoyed the chaos of it because it was a lot. Because I like the challenge. I like a lot more things to do, because on normal it feels very simple on Hydra, but just for the inside room. But then you take it to the epic version, and it's like, okay, now I'm dealing with a Cyclops inside. I'm dealing with 3 detain drones every single eye.
Oh.
I'm breaking.
Okay.
It just amps up in there, but it didn't feel like it changed too much.
Right.
Then you take Wyvern, and it is fundamentally it's the same sort of premise, but it feels so much different. So like, I don't know if anyone wants to go into it blind or anything, so I don't want to
Honestly,
put their head, but
look.
Oh, I know all about it, so we're good.
Yeah.
I watched the whole contest. That being said, it's very different watching it versus playing it. Like when you watch it, it's harder to understand exactly what's going on.
Right.
But spoilers are okay for me.
Yeah.
just wanted
Completely
to
fine for
get
me.
out. Just yeah.
No, I appreciate that. Yeah.
Because so for Wyvern now, instead of doing the boxes top to bottom, that's not the case at all.
Okay.
You have to do it. So like you have each person having in the final encounter the different buffs. You got the cyclic, absolute, and constant buffs. They're in that encounter, so you have to get those plate buffs. That plate determines which column you shoot, but then there's colored chronons in like little vials, and that determines which level of the pillar you have to shoot, which combination. So it could be 2 whites and a red. So you'd have to like 2 boxes on one level, 1 on another, and you have to sort of coordinate that as you're doing it.
Oh wow.
It's
Just
really
adds
really cool.
an extra level of complexity.
Yeah, I mean, watching it seemed like teams were really taking a lot longer to figure out Wyvern than the other two encounters. Like, people got Hydra down very quickly. I think within the first 20 minutes that encounter was completed.
Yeah.
And so the teams were switching from Wyvern to Hydra because that one was completed, so people knew how to do it. But I think that was something that the commentators were talking about a lot. Was like that Wyvern was different enough. The mechanics were different enough. It was stumping some teams going in. They're having a hard time figuring out how to do it.
And then Hobgoblin. I really like the Hobgoblin encounter. Got very, very good feeling clearing that one because that's what we started with on the original one, and we didn't really clear. We only had like 12 hours in the base Desert Perpetual overall. But that was where we started. We didn't clear anything. But it was partially because of bug issues. Partially it was just trying to figure the damage out more than anything because we got mechanics down for that on the base version very quick.
Right.
But it was just figuring out damage because no one really knew what to do with all the sandbox changes and whatnot.
Right.
So clearing that was very euphoric for me. I was so pleased with just clearing that, honestly. Felt so good. But then you go to final encounter and it is wild.
Way
it is
different?
A completely different encounter to what you know. Like,
Oh my
so
God.
was I had heard a rumor that like some of the like the order that you did the previous bosses also affected how the final boss goes. Is that
correct.
true?
Yes.
Okay, cool. All right.
So it also affects the bosses in between as well.
Okay.
So we were very lucky. We did it in a good order. So say we did Hydra first, which has the detain drones as the extra sort of outside main thing, the main mechanic they've added really to make it more complex. Then we went to Hobgoblin. Those detain drones moved from that previous encounter into Hobgoblin. So whenever we dunked a Chronon in to figure out the color we needed, two detain drones spawned every time. And then at the start of damage and partially between damage, Fanatics spawn like they do in the Hydra encounter.
Okay.
And then we went from that to Wyvern, and then during damage, you have the big like Seraph Tower death beam during damage in the Wyvern encounter, as well as the bouncing. It's a very chaotic third damage, but I would have not liked to have the Wyvern mechanic in Hobgoblin.
Right, yeah.
Because trying to go through those portals, if someone's running through and they get booped, it's over. That's it. You're done. No extension for you.
Right.
But I think the final part of Hobgoblin that I really like, though, because it has a final stand now.
Mm-hmm.
And
yes.
So, because for damage, you start to the bottom, then he teleports up, and he stays teleported up. And then after you've got to final stand, he'll like divide out into 3 hobgoblins on the ground.
Okay.
You have to split into teams for the buff. Kill a hobgoblin that has that name with your buff.
Mm-hmm.
Then real final stand starts, and it's the hobgoblin in the middle, the main boss, the real boss, and then everyone has to team and kill him in that final stand. It's really cool.
That's wild.
That's awesome. I love it.
And then final encounter is it's probably the most unique encounter they've put together.
By far, yeah.
Okay.
It's so very well done. It's a lot of moving parts. It's a lot of things getting involved.
Mm-hmm.
But if you it's so strange. We've never had an encounter where you can literally take breaks between phases.
Yes, that's so crazy because it teleports you back.
I didn't understand what was going on at first. Again.
You get can do it like 7 phases, and each phase you can do like a rally flag.
Yep.
Right.
That is a Final Fantasy raid thing. That was the most surprising thing.
That's crazy.
That's what you can do in WoW and Final Fantasy.
I didn't.
So nice.
I didn't watch any of this. I was off all weekend, like hanging out with Jenny and stuff. So I didn't watch any. That's insane that you were able to take breaks. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Yes.
So you have like very short initial phases, then you have a longer damage phase, then you have a final stand, and it's really, really like what's wild to me is like you did those short phases and then you do like loads of burst damage, then you get to the main damage phase, and then you do like ranged long damage, and then you do the final stand, and then it's back to short range damage, but it's longer.
Range.
So it's
right. So what loadout do you use for that? Because I know some people are using snipers for the ranged.
Yeah.
But I guess you get the rally in between, so it doesn't matter as much, right? So it's like
not
in
swap,
terms of
you have a different
nothing.
loadout for each section.
Yeah, not swap being irrelevant because
I
you can
heard
rally.
that
It was rally, right?
Doesn't
Yeah.
matter.
So like, them introducing that encounter while they had all this controversy around not swap, I found hilarious.
Yeah, it made it moot.
It's just like, okay, so I have this information gathering phase where I can just run ad clear, rally to what I will use for damage, do that again 2 times.
Right.
Then go to a long range loadout, then go back to my short range. And there's no consequence whatsoever.
Yep. So what's the point of not swap there?
It did absolutely nothing.
Nothing.
Somebody in Bungie is just laughing at this.
Oh, that is, they're looking at it, they're going, we've done all this, and they're like,
suckers!
We got you good.
We got you guys!
Big chuckles over there.
Swap!
But I mean, really, there have been so many times where it's like the community just is like, this isn't going to work. It's not going to work. And it's kind of like, okay, let's just wait and see. We finally see. And then it's like, oh, well, that was no big deal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. We
But we also didn't know, like, to put it into perspective, like, we historically have never had a raid change this much.
No.
Never.
No.
Which is very interesting. If we had the normal version of DP in that version of the raid, it would have been understandable. But like, if I'm not mistaken, this one was only -30, so it wasn't nearly as bad. Everyone I've talked to that did that raid said that this felt significantly easier. Ad clear,
the damage was
like
much
ad clear
easier.
wise, that unlike contest day 1 Desert, it felt like they just steamrolled the like red bars.
Yeah.
And then the damage itself for all the stuff felt significantly easier than contest day 1.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just because of that change.
Yeah, I think part of it, because original day 1 contest also had the wrong delta. It had a higher delta than it should have.
They said it was at -40, but this one was -30, I believe.
This was -30. It was meant to be -40 on the base day 1, but it was higher. It was like -47 or something. It something went wrong with the calculations or something somewhere. I mean, it was still cleared. It was still obviously manageable, but it required a lot of locking
that
in
one
to get
seemed
that
to
done.
require more perfection than
Absolutely.
the one this past weekend.
Because when we got, I mean, we'd been practicing, we'd done cutthroats, things like that as a team, and then when they introduced not swap, I did practice on literally having a single loader all the way through, making sure I could still clear those damage checks, because we didn't know if it was going to be -30 or -40, so I prepared myself for -40. So it was a pleasant surprise for me. I think the only one that we probably struggled with damage-wise was the Wyvern, but I was an absolute burger in that one, so I did not hit my shots as well as I should have. But I was a bit all over the place on that one. But the other two were very, like, if you really locked in, you could probably 2-phase both of them.
Okay.
Yeah, that one did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah, Elysium did 2-phase most of the bosses, which was really crazy.
Yeah, that's what I saw.
I think the most impressive part of that entire weekend, though, for me, was Llama's team.
They
got the Hydra down in 2 pulls.
They did, yeah.
And that, seeing that like on contest, I was like, whoa, has this ever been done? Has someone ever like first tried or second tried an encounter in contest? Ever? I don't know.
It was crazy. And they got to the boss first. They were in there 2 hours,
there, like,
I think.
Super quick.
They were there in 2 hours before like anyone else got there. And then unfortunately, just like it was so complex, like it just took so long for them to figure out.
Yeah, everyone caught up. So
everyone caught up, and then they were like 20 teams in there, and no one was figuring out how to clear damage on that. So it was, but yeah, Llama's team was a little heartbreaking because I was oh man, because I love him, he's so great, like he's such a great Destiny player, he's a great guy, and like it's such an underdog thing, I think, because I don't know that they've ever won a contest.
I don't think they have. They've placed. No Llama's placed.
But I was like rooting for them so hard. I mean, I'm so happy that that Vendetta won though, because he's fantastic. Like that whole team. I'm so happy for them. The Unk squad, especially since like ATP's team, but they were like the anti-Unk coalition. And everyone was like, is that about Vendetta? Are they just talking shit about Vendetta? Because they call Vendetta Unk. But like, man, I'm such a huge fan of his. Like, he is such a good little man gamer and speedrunner, and he's such a nice all-around guy. So like, I was so happy because they were replaying like the clear. And they were jumping up those platforms to get to the final boss, and he was like, "Ugh, still got it!" And I'm like, "Yeah, still got it!" It was so great. I was so happy about that. But yeah, Llama's team, I was like really, really hoping that they would clear first. But hey, that's a talented team.
It's very talented,
very talented team. So yeah. Hopefully next
time. Doing kind of like minor sort of scouting type thing.
Sammy.
So I went. What?
I'm kidding. Go ahead.
Well, I wasn't asked to be a scout. I kind of just did it.
Okay.
But I went through and I was watching like 13, 14 streams at one time, trying to find out who was in the lead.
Mm-hmm.
And that was really fun. It was really cool to see that there were some people where it's like, they would get to the second encounter really, really fast. And then they would just spend so much time on there to where there's 3 or 4 teams that would just pass them. So I had this entire spreadsheet where I just like checked it off.
Okay.
Some teams that came in or took a really, really long time at first ended up getting to third within like the top, within 10, the top 10 teams. So it was really, really cool to watch. Really, really cool to see them. But what was even cooler is I had these, like, probably more than 13, 14. On Final Boss, I had them in these multi-stream windows. And the health bar just didn't move whatsoever. It just was completely still. So trying to find out whose health bar was going to move first was really cool to watch.
That's sick. How was the viewing experience for day one? Like, since Bungie had their own overlay that everybody had.
It was way better.
Yeah.
Way better.
Yeah, it was definitely better.
I like the stream requirements that they added. I think generally a lot of people agreed with that. It's like, it's just a more, because they need to balance the viewership experience as well as the competitive experience. Because at the end of the day, you don't want to sit and watch nothing, right?
Right.
I mean, I understand you hear the audio cues, music changing, things like that, but it's nothing like seeing someone like, or something suddenly happening that hasn't happened before appearing in a kind of like, oh, what's happened? What's changed? What they do? What do they do to trigger this?
Yeah.
And then I think Evan and CB do such a really good job of covering this. I don't think there's a better way this could have been done.
Okay.
Because I think the first time I caught them doing anything like this, because I've always been running it, was the solo raid tournament that they covered. That was and it was so fun. They're so full of life doing it. I'm so glad they got this platform now to do it for the contest raids and stuff.
Right.
They are so talented.
So nice
as
too.
casters.
Like, it's such a very natural feel to watch. It doesn't feel forced enough. It feels like it's out of place. It's brilliant. And they're doing the next covering of the solo raid tournament, which is like a speedrun tournament also. It's just going to be a lot of fun to watch.
Heck yeah, man. Well, it sounds like for the most part, like it was a rousing success. Like,
yeah, like I think the Rad team cooked. They did such a good job at making this actually an epic raid. It did feel like it. Felt like, I think the only gripe I had with it was my bad RNG at loot.
Yeah.
Because the only weapons I got were from the original raid.
Yeah.
I don't got none of the new ones until I did it again on normal, which is a real shame. Which I feel like if you're doing the contest raid, they should have limited the loot pool to the new stuff that was coming with it.
Yeah.
But that's
Or heavier
just
weighted.
a personal thing. Yeah. But they have now, because they've got the original quest for the shader, which then leads into the quest at the end of the epic raid, which allows you to attune to loot.
Yeah.
So you can once you complete that, you can focus both the old and new gear, which is a very good way. And I think ideally, I think that would be a good idea to introduce earlier, but hey, that's personal RNG, right? But other than that, I had a lot of fun.
Other than that, yeah.
I saw Pidge mention that he was like, if I could please not get any of the old loot in the new thing, please, that would be wonderful. Thank you.
I think that's stems to the current core issue that they have is the loot isn't there for what we're doing. There's nothing to chase actively currently.
Yeah.
Beyond Mint Retrograde, which has been now sold at Zavala and now been on 4 focus days in the same week.
Right.
So
one thing that I did see was that there's some sort of controversy around somebody from Bungie giving a team mechanics spoilers or help.
Yep.
So you know those super short damage phases you were on about?
Yeah.
For final?
Yeah.
You can make them super long.
Yep.
And that was the tech that was leaked to the team after World's First within about 15-20 minutes, I think.
Okay.
From what I was seeing. So after World's First was cleared, that was sort of figured out. We were in bed because we did the first 4 all the mini bosses. Then we went to bed because we wanted to maintain sleep schedules for people working and stuff on Monday morning.
Yeah.
Because we were capping ourselves till about Sunday. We didn't think we were going to take until that time because the way we practiced, we've done really well. So we thought rather than beat ourselves at the wall, tired, trying to figure this out, we go to bed, wake up, refreshed, try and figure it out. And if it has been figured out, cool.
Right.
And we just went with it. And the first thing we saw was that how to make the longer phases.
The longer phases.
Because we got the damage. We're like, oh, that's really short. How do we extend it? And then we looked into it. And that's how you do it. That's how you're meant to do it. Then we found out later that strategy was sort of leaked.
Okay.
Because the way Solstein, the Elysium team, cleared it was through those short damage phases, if I remember correctly.
They
just
muscled it. They were like, we're gonna treat this like the original iteration and just say this is a really crazy damage check and we're just gonna muscle through it. And they did.
Yeah.
With some kind of tractor cannon tech. I think that's what Salt was saying they were using.
Yeah. Tractor and Withering Gaze, his scout there.
But then after they cleared, instantly there was a team that was going through that had much more damage going into Final Stand. They were having all the teams are having trouble clearing past 50%, and you needed to get to at least 60% in order to clear damage without the extended. And then you saw this one team going in and they were already down to 25% for final, and you were like, how did they do that? How did they get because everyone was like, are we missing something? Because a lot of the teams that were looking around initially, because the damage check was really hard, they were like, are we missing something? Are there portals? Are we supposed to avoid this white mechanic on final? And then they were like, well, let's just do it. And then everyone kind of settled into we're just going to do this damage check. So what is the extend mechanic?
So
on that,
the way the encounter works is you have a buff or debuff, so to speak, on the bottom left. It's like a timer, world line stability, and that is your duration for damage, and that slowly ticks down. So the lower that is, by the time you've finished the mechanics, that's how long you have a damage phase. Okay. So essentially
for the first damage phase, right? When you're shooting from far away, or for both?
from close.
From close. Okay.
Yeah, the extension was on the close damage phases because they were the really short burst ones, but you could essentially extend it so you're doubling your damage in those places easily.
Mm-hmm.
So the long and short of it is you get through all the mechanics. You've got the wyvern that drops the cronons to dunk it into the hourglass. The team inside finishes their mini game. They come out, open the crystal, shoot it. You start damage. Now, what people were doing to brute force it was they were trying to get they would either gamble, so they'd have to pick up a chronon, they would align the color, pick up the chronon. If they went through it, they died. It's not that color, and they would do it that way.
Okay.
Or you'd wait till about a third of the time till you had a third of the time left on that damage phase. It would reveal the color, and then you would finish the mini game, open the crystal, shoot it. But doing that, it changes the color for the next damage phase.
Okay.
Now, if you open the crystal and don't shoot it, it keeps that chronon color for the next damage phase. So rather than having two short ones, you can do that, do the damage phase, and then do both of those phases again. So you have two longer burst damage phases before you even get to the third main long range damage phase.
Long one, yeah.
So you could go from having about 5-10 second damage phases to having like 10-15 seconds.
Okay.
Quite easily.
Gotcha.
A big
That's
difference.
crazy. No one figured that out though. Like
until after World's First Declared, and it just suddenly appeared.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And it was someone, a tester from Bungie who was, I believe, on Indebted originally.
Okay.
It was a guy from the World's First Salvation's Edge team who had been hired by Bungie.
After that raid,
Yeah.
Okay.
And they had become a raid tester. So they had already done both versions of DP.
Yeah.
Okay.
So they knew about that.
Gotcha. Okay. So they knew the tech.
So that's where the controversy came from.
Sure.
Yep.
How did that get found out? Did they do it on stream, or did it
They did it on stream.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Gotcha. Yeah, that's
and it was like a very obvious, and from what I've seen and posted around, it's a very sudden switch on.
Mm-hmm.
Like it was going for there was a very little delay from World's First to that sort of strat appearing.
Mm-hmm.
I said it was about 15-20 minutes or something like that from
Heard. Okay.
after the clear.
Apparently after the clear, the team took a quick 5-10 minute break, then came back and was chunking damage.
Gotcha.
Yeah, they just
it was
all
it
of
was
a
like
sudden
obvious
knew what
gap.
was going on. Yeah.
That's
There's no
wild.
subtlety to it.
Yeah, that's a little wild. So Rev had brought up Bungie members are not allowed to partake in the raid until after the World's First. So they completed World's First. Had they confirmed World's First by the time that this strat
As
started
far
coming
as
on?
I know, it wasn't. They didn't put out the tweet. They put
The
out
tweet was not out when that
Gotcha.
investigated
strat was
whatever
employed.
someone cleared, but
The raid
Clarifying
was
the-
cleared and it was World's First, but it had not yet been
All right.
confirmed officially by Bungie.
So Rev wants me to finish it out. So Bungie members are not allowed to partake in the raid until after World's First has been confirmed, not just merely cross the line, by the way. So
as far as I know, they hadn't been in the raid themselves. They just told the team
got you.
what to do.
Yeah.
Okay. Which would have been that little that difference there.
Yeah.
That's
And that's one
Crazy.
reason that it was a controversy is people didn't know, did he break NDA?
Yeah.
What's going on?
Well,
well.
apparently they've been let go from Bungie, so I guess that they did.
I had seen that too. I
I don't know.
allegedly that they had been let go. I hadn't seen
We
anybody
have no
confirm
official
that.
posts or anything.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I don't think we would at this
I
point.
mean, we wouldn't. So unless
No.
that person said so. So
Yeah. So yeah, that's nuts. Overall, how do you feel like this one compared to how this contest compared to the original Desert Perpetual race?
See, I I feel like because we've sort of knew how this fundamentally worked, like the core mechanics of each encounter worked, bar the final one. It felt like it wasn't as much of a mechanic race or a knowledge race. It was more of an execution race.
Right.
It's a very execution heavy raid. But with that being said, I think it's definitely because of how drastic the encounters felt and how drastic they, even though they were at the core the same, there was enough in there to make it feel different enough and challenging enough for it to be worthy of its own belt, I'd say.
Mm-hmm.
But I definitely feel like this was easier, especially damage-wise. Plus, we've had all this time to get the tier 5s. We've had all the time since they changed the raid pool to like the raid power rewards from feats as well, where it's easy to access tier 5s from there.
Yeah.
Plus, you've got some of the new armor sets bonuses. You've got Smoke Jumper, which is ridiculously strong. It is so overpowered.
What's that from?
It's insane. That's just from Fire Team Ops, Solo Ops. Yeah.
Okay.
And essentially, you pick up an orb and you get 45% DR. That decays to 15% over like 3 seconds. So if you have attrition orbs, people printing orbs from golden guns because it's very much a super spam meta. During damage, you are untouchable,
Immune.
more or less.
Yeah, untouchable. That's amazing.
Now I know what I'm gonna go farm tonight.
I got you.
Writing that down for later.
That's all I've seen people farming up until Epic. They've been farming that since Ash and Iron. So I was like, any team that cared to clear was going to have a full set.
Yeah.
I only even needed a 2-piece for that to work. That's the really 2-piece bonus.
Even better.
If you had the luck or the willpower to farm Kepler armor, at tier 5, you'd have
the willpower.
Yeah. I am not sitting in a loot cave. I'm sorry. I am not doing the solo ops mines.
What's your power level, Sherpa?
I am a 503.
Yeah, I don't want to hear anything about willpower.
It's not an addiction.
You've been mining.
I've just been playing the game.
It's
to be fair, I got most of mine. To be fair, I got most of mine through like just playing Iron Banner and go for weapons I wanted to on the rotations that they came out. So like when that dropped, I found the activity that was dropping for rather than just going to solo ops because I just could not. The way I've seen this, if there's loot I want to get, I'll go for that. I have fun with the gameplay. The core gunplay feel of Destiny is so unique to me, and that's what holds it together. For how I like the gun design, the way the gun sounds. I think the only time I was in solo ops is when the bow was around for the high impact bow because I still don't have the role I want on that, which is sad. But
Me too.
I will go. I want the attrition orbs and kinetic tremors, and it's just not happening. It's so sad.
Oh, tell us about Withering Gaze. Because there was apparently because of the ranged damage, people were using Withering Gaze as a debuff instead of other selected debuffs. Can you talk about that a little bit? Or Epic Dan, whoever. Yeah,
it's because it's of the rotation, because you can't hit them with Tractor from that far.
Right.
So,
right.
And you're not going to use Tether, or there's no other 30% debuff you can apply to it. The only one you can apply is ranged weakens, like your weakened snare bombs, your Withering Gaze, if anyone was using Div, but you could replace Div with a legendary Withering Gaze. It's just it was so good for that particular situation.
Very situational, right.
You didn't need the crit from Div either, because he's got a massive fucking head.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, it's like if you're not hitting your crits, you're not clearing anyway.
You're missing if you're not hitting that. I am sorry. It's just a giant orb in the sky. It's just a ball.
Exactly.
So that, and I think because Pidge was our resident debuff champion and he had the sniper from Revenant stowed away in his vault from Withering Gaze after all our farming for it. This is why we hoard. This is why we hoard.
This is why you hoard, man.
Moment. You're like the Withering Gaze. It's in there. It's in my vault somewhere.
And it came in clutch. We used that for the encounter. It was so good.
That's so good.
Because then you could apply the Withering Gaze, put your Finalities Augur up, and then just fire mint, and then go back to the sniper. I love it. Good.
Yep.
That's wild.
Call me a hoarder again, okay?
Do what I dare.
I'm playing the game like it's supposed to be played.
Tiddly has newspapers stacked up in her house, like just 7 or 8 cats just walking around.
Just waiting.
Attacked, but it's accurate.
Yeah.
Oh. Yeah, I love it. I love that small detail, because I guess
I think you also used it on the Hobgoblin, actually.
Yeah,
no.
I think that Vendetta was the one who pulled out that tech first that we saw. But it was so interesting to me, because I'm like, I really hadn't heard people talk about it as like a debuff utility, right? Because people are traditionally using Tractor. But even on Hobgoblin, like, because of the way the final stand mechanic worked, and also I feel like you were doing more range on that one also, even though like usually you would be doing it up close. So it's like,
yeah,
so interesting that they're pulling out this different type of debuff. I guess you never know what's going to be useful, and now I want one.
Yeah,
I want one.
What I think, I don't know if we kept doing it, but what we had is he would apply Tractor on the ground floor, and then apply Withering Gaze to extend it while it was up top.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah, because you can also apply Tractor on Immune, right? And then like once so you can pre-apply it. Yeah.
So
anyway,
it was just good to
see.
See random perks come out of the woodwork. I'm honestly just really happy that Peacekeepers have seen the light of day that they deserve.
Oh, so they didn't disable them for the raid then?
No.
Because people were really like expecting them.
I was expecting them.
Yeah,
I was expecting them to be. However, we only used them for Hydra. Weirdly.
Really interesting.
Because everything else was burst or long range.
Right. Right.
And I think it's, again, back to the not swap thing. I went into the long range damage thing with like 4 loadouts that I could just use. So just completely negating the not swap.
Mm-hmm.
Because I went from Grand Overture into Cloud Strike into the new exotic Rocket Pulse. And if I had to, but into Outbreak if it was long enough to dump all that ammo.
Yeah. I love it.
Heck yeah. Over the past couple of weeks, like we've missed out on like a couple of twids and everything. I'm
That's
seeing
true.
here just real quick, like it looks like they're adjusting the power climb again.
Yeah, they're adding some.
Say they are.
Yeah.
Like I feel like for me, I feel like the nature of the power grind isn't like too bad. Like I don't mind a long grind. It's the sustenance. What do I get from this grind? What am I grinding for? What am I grinding towards as a goal here? The only thing I have to grind for is for tier 5s, which you can get beyond 450, which is great. But then it's like, what do I go for beyond that? It's conquests, really, but then repeat conquests don't do much.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, what is the point of going beyond this arbitrary limit that makes tier 5s drop easier?
Yeah.
We don't have that depth at the moment.
I guess what's the next big thing that's going to require that, right?
It's going to be the Renegades dungeon. Yes.
Yeah. Correct.
Yeah, but in Renegades, we're getting our light level reset, so...
Yeah, down to 200.
Yep.
I do like that finally putting the bonus drops, like the bonus engrams, as potential prime rewards as well. So it does incentivize rotating through. But again, it's just for arbitrary number go up. There's no activity or that requires it. Like Trials has dumped the power requirement now. There's nothing.
Right.
The only thing that in game that's required it is conquests and the raids on launch at 200 and 300 power respectively.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
She isn't even that bad of a climb.
No. And then it's just then your access to tier 5s, which if you're doing things like low ends and your contest stuff, you're going to go for that, which makes sense. But beyond that, there's not really any activity to farm for or nothing to grind at the moment. And that's had the previous incentive like we did. Because we don't have GMs anymore. Like, where's my material farm, man? Where am I going to get my golf balls?
That kind of leads to like the situation where we are now, right? Like, and I know Sammy, you wanted to kind of touch on this about like where the community is now post everything. I know, like, I saw that Dado was like, "Hey, I'm taking a break for a while. See ya." And we've seen friends like above also saying, "Hey, I'm gonna take a break." Right? Yeah, a lot of people are taking a break until December, which is understandable if things aren't really changing at that like speed. But like, it seems like the community is like getting really weird around people leaving.
They're getting really weird. And this is what's even stranger is that they're getting really aggressive towards each other.
Yeah.
And that's what's super bizarre about it.
Yeah.
Is that people are like, oh, you still play Destiny. You shouldn't do that. You're making the problem worse. Don't give Bungie credit. Anything like that. You even say a little nice thing about Bungie. And you have just...
Oh, you're a shill. God forbid we enjoy something.
Yeah.
It's just, it's very negative. It's very bad. A lot of creators, a lot of Sherpas that I've heard, are just being bullied about it. And saying, oh, if it weren't their livelihood, this, that,
right.
then they'd be able to see it clearly. I mean, it's just been really bad. And that's what I'm afraid of is the community is going to make the game. I don't want to say they're going to make it worse, but I feel like they're gonna make the game worse in a lot of ways.
They make you feel guilty to enjoy when it's actually good.
Yeah.
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 I think for me, when it came to like Ash and Iron, for me, as far as this entire DLC goes, has probably been my biggest disappointment in terms of because it was labeled as a major update and it's got to be the size of Into the Light. Like, sure, we got the 3 maps for Reclaim, which they were really cool. I mean, it's Plaguelands. It didn't have the same essence as it did, but it's good to have the 3 different maps.
Right.
And they said, but because to me, Into the Light was, we had 10 weapons that were all really good.
Yeah.
With this, we had the Void Rocket, which was honestly dead on arrival because of its perk pool, and then the Void Waveframe, but there's no real active way to farm for those, and they were there for a week. And then you had the couple of armor sets that have dropped, and then the raid after, which has some really cool stuff. But it felt very stop, start for things coming out.
Right.
Compared to when you Into the Light, it was just boom, it's all there. Except Moth Yards, no one plays Moth Yards. But Sloth Yards, as I call it. But it didn't have that same oomph factor. And there was a lot of things that had the right feel of nostalgia with the right sense of new and that sort of thing. You had forbearance, power creeping forbearance, which was very funny to me, but wasn't really much depth to it.
Yeah.
But the base age of it, I really enjoyed because I really liked the story, and the way I saw it, because they didn't announce a lot of activities. I saw it as this is a core systems reshape, foundational reset. That's where the resources are going to be with the team size that they have. So I wasn't expecting an abundance of activities, an abundance of stuff off the get-go. But obviously then you had the portal system, which at its core, I feel it had a lot of potential, and then obviously has had a lot of issues with as the power grind and such going forward.
Yeah.
But hopefully that has... Yeah. I would not have been mad with them delaying Edge of Fate like 6 months or so
Mm.
to get this portal system to the way it is in its state now, or to where it's going to be in like the next week or so. Because I think at the moment it's so close to being perfect, and when they add the bonus engrams to primes, I think that's going to be the sweet spot.
I just don't know if it would have survived that long.
Yeah,
Like at least community wise.
No. So it's
People
fucking
say
hard
like
way.
make a D3, and I think that would be great. But I also know that it would not deliver what people expect.
Yeah, it wouldn't.
What they want. It wouldn't give people what they think that they want.
Yeah. If anything, there would be a dearth of activity that they would then have to make up.
Longer.
Yeah. They would have to make up over years and years and trial and error. And yeah. Is that worth it at that point?
Would probably have to be on the other side of that, because I was a person who felt that D3 was unnecessary for a while. To be honest, though, I think nowadays, if Bungie actually cares about people that have left or have retired or just wants to get away from community sentiment around D2,
yeah,
you kind of have to move on. Like, there's just no way around that.
Yeah.
Because community sentiment for such an old game now cannot change for Destiny 2 no matter what.
Yeah.
It's unless they do a Fortnite revamp.
Yeah, once it
there's
hits,
no way you can at this point. So I think a lot of people feel that D3 is necessary, not because you probably will have a fair amount of stuff pulled over. And I personally am okay with that, because there are certain systems in D2 that are perfectly fine, but is just surrounded by a lot of stuff that could be either removed, reworked. Obviously, most players would want a D3 that is super fresh from the ground up. I'm a realist.
I think that's what
I don't think that's
not
going to
gonna
happen. You know?
Yeah.
Well, I think it could happen, but it will require them to basically
a lot of resources.
I also don't think people actually want that. I mean, one of the reasons I think D2 was so good is because it was essentially D1, but adding PC, which is a really pleasant way to play the game on a mouse and keyboard. It's like it completely upgrades the experience. So, but I think if from D1 to D2, if they had made a completely different game, people would be mad. Like even changing something like playing like first person versus third person, like something like that, people would be so mad. Like honestly.
Yeah.
I think they need.
It's just a tough one now.
A big change. I definitely think they need a big change, and a new game would do that. I just feel like what people would expect they'd get from a new game isn't realistic.
Yeah.
The worry is that they're going to give it the D3, and then we're just going to have the same situation where every 6 months we get Galahorn back in, we get Icebreaker. I think that is super valid, because that would be my main worry. Because as a developer, you have all these assets. You definitely want to keep those assets around somehow. So it's understandable that you would want to keep all this work from the last decade. But new is new, you know?
Yeah, that's fair. But like even then, you're looking at a few years out, which might be good to give like
a long time, if we're being honest.
Yeah.
That's a long time.
Like,
and then it also ruins. Well, not ruins, but that really just hard stops D2.
Yeah,
they would have to put this game on life support like they did Destiny 1, and then really focus on making D3. And I don't know if they can afford that.
Yeah, well, especially right now.
Marathon.
Especially with Marathon
is right now, and all the concerns around Marathon, and because Destiny at the end of the day is their cash cow. It's their big.
It's their only cow now.
They only have one cow. I know, like me in Vegas.
Only one moolah.
This is their Planet Moolah. This is Bungie's Planet Moolah. Full circle, guys. Full circle. They gotta milk the Planet Moolah as long as they can.
Yeah.
True. Yeah.
You're not wrong, Tidley. You're not wrong.
I like it when you say that. I wish my husband would say that more.
Well, that recording was pretty clean, so you could probably put that on a button somewhere.
One of those Staples easy buttons.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I believe it.
Yeah, one of those. All right. Well, this has been a great conversation so far. Shall we get into some community? Hold on. That's
Yes.
words. Now I remember. Shall we get into some community questions?
I would love to.
Let's do it. Sammy Cat, would you mind reading the question from Who's Eddie?
Where's it at?
It's in the document toward the toward the
Oh,
bottom.
you already put it in the document.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
I see. Is the epic raid enticing enough to have any of you wanting to play it in the next week or so?
Oh.
Honest, man. So I guess I'll kick this one off. I'm going to Germany in less than a couple weeks now, and right now I'm in the space of I have so many other things on my plate right now that I can't really focus on maybe getting that knocked out of the way before going on this trip. If I'm able to, that's going to be cream, the cream on top, but I'm not. I haven't actively reached out to anybody to be like, hey, can we knock this up before I leave? So if it happens, it happens, but I'm not. There's just a lot of other games going on right now and a lot of other things going for your attention.
Fair enough.
Yeah, it's going to be weird coming from me because I've always been just raids. But I feel like this is a twofold answer for me. Had the epic raid came out a few months ago, I think sentiment around it would have been significantly higher. Even though the epic raid, in my opinion, is arguably the best raid they've done. And I think that's not a hot take because the final boss is it's
one of a kind.
Chef kiss.
I love it.
Mm-hmm.
The way my jaw dropped.
It coming out right now was the worst thing the raid could have done. It's just it sucks because it's such a good version of a raid and it's so good.
It's just the timing of it.
It's just the timing of it is terrible. Like if Desert Perpetual had came out right after Into the Light and Pantheon, would have been so good. But it just coming out right now with all the other games and just all the other games right
it's just
now.
Been drowned out with
crowded.
everything.
It's just
What you're saying, the space is too crowded for it.
I just see no reason.
Do you think
for
it's
me
also
to do
the player base has moved on to some extent at this point? So it could be amazing, but people have retired or moved on or are playing other things right now. I guess it's kind of connected, but
well, if you saw, Glad had posted about it where this was going to be this was the first contest raid that he decided not to do in all of Destiny.
Yeah.
And he was quite bothered by that. And he's like, I don't see it being something I want to do right now. I would bring negative energy to the team. And then he was afterwards okay, I totally eat my words.
Right.
Yeah,
but
I don't think people were expecting what it ended up being because
I
they were
didn't
expecting
expect it to be
something
super different either.
They were expecting it to be like Prestige or like a master iteration with where there were minor changes. I was not expecting it to go 8 hours. I was expecting 2 max based on previous, and then the final encounter, and it turned out to be this whole new amazing thing. So, I
looked at it and I watched it and I personally felt more like Glad, where I was surprised. I wasn't envious. I wasn't doing it. And that really shocked me. I watched it and I was like, this is really cool. Man, this is really sick.
Yeah.
But I never got the feeling I was like,
you didn't have FOMO.
Man, I wish I had done. I didn't have it.
Well,
and that really worried me because I had clan mates who were like, let's get a team together. And I was like, I'll try, but I'm not. I just
feeling
don't.
it.
It's not. I'm not feeling it.
And that's
No,
what's
it was just
surprising to
very-
me. Like when you said that you hadn't run it, Dan, like I was like,
Mhm.
like preparing for this episode, I was like, oh, Epic Dan will have done it by now. Like I'm sure.
I had
and
a
then,
lot
like,
of my
we have-
community surprised that I just
Yeah.
didn't. Partially of it was because the date changed. I had a team,
Mhm.
and then when the date changed, one person was like, "I gotta work. I'm going out of town for work."
Yeah.
And I was like, I can't convince someone who has a total
Yeah.
like career to like stop. And
For
then I had
sure.
another person who was like, well, I'm just gonna do my own thing. I don't feel like raiding. And I was like, that is totally valid. And then every person I asked, they were like, I'm not doing this raid, or I gotta work, or they just had some other reason. And they were just like, I'm not super interested in doing this raid. And I was like, you know what? I've tried. It's about 2 weeks out. I really, if it happens, it happens.
Mhm.
I was
You're not
still
gonna
under the
force it.
mindset that like it was gonna be one extra person running or something. I thought it was
Right,
gonna
yeah.
because we didn't know. And then when I watched it, I was like, man, this is really cool. And I still didn't feel like I was having FOMO for the
Yeah.
first time in a raid. And I hadn't missed a single contest raid since Taken King. So I've been there
How
for
was
every
it being
single
a
one.
viewer?
I didn't watch it. I played Borderlands.
Yeah.
And I was streaming and I had up on this screen raid zone, and I would just tab in just to see if someone cleared or not. And once it was cleared, I just exited out. And I was like, okay, well, I know who won. But I never like watched it outside of seeing who was in the lead. I watched
Right.
the first encounter, second encounter, and all that. And I just wanted to see the final boss. And up until the final boss, I was like, okay, cool. Obviously, okay, a few extra things to do, cool. Then when I saw the final boss, I was like, yo, this is really dope. I'm happy for those playing right now, but I wasn't like, okay, because I expected a year ago me, if this had happened, I would have been like instantly, who can I find right now that doesn't have a team for me to get into this right now? And I didn't have that feeling, which was very new,
Alien.
interesting for me. Now, obviously, when the contest of the dungeon comes out, I'll be there. But I don't know why. Maybe it was just because of the time and all that. But I don't see this raid. I don't see me doing this raid the next week
Yeah.
unless someone reaches out and like, yo, we need one. You got some time? I'm like, yeah, sure, I'll join. But like, I'm not being proactive because I have other stuff I'd rather be spending my time on.
Right.
I'd rather play Ghost of Yotei in 2 days versus
Yes.
this raid, you know? Just.
Which looks incredible. Sammy or Tidley, what about you guys? Are you going to be hopping in sometime in the next week?
Probably not the next week. I have some people that are going to be going in for my first clear for
Mhm.
all bow on Tether Hunter. So I'm just waiting for that.
Right.
But yeah, once we plan that, then I'm going to be going in.
I am going in on Friday.
Okay.
I just usually I like doing like new raid stuff first week. So I would love to get a clear. And I saw the final encounter. I'm like, I want to get in there. That looks so cool. So yeah, I will be running it. I'm running it stacked. I'm running it with Rev.
That sounds fun.
I'm actually running it with Rev and CG and Bergen, and they all
Hey.
Yeah, that sounds
they're
great.
gonna be stacked.
Yeah,
It's
you're
gonna
fine.
have fun.
It's gonna be chill. And it's amazing. It's like some really fun people to play. So I'm gonna have a good time doing it. We're washed. You're not washed. You guys are so good. But I was thinking about this. I was thinking about because we've had a lot of discussions on Destiny Digest about the content schedule and the changes and the resourcing at Bungie, especially like pertaining to Destiny 2 versus Marathon, and like how much like money and time they're giving the devs to work on it. And like with this new content schedule of trying to like do like one raid and one dungeon, right? And how like the dungeon contest really elevates that a little bit and makes it more special. So like maybe having that during a season isn't as bad. But I was just watching the raid and I was like, well, I mean, I know this all happened before the Pete Parsons, Justin Truman transition, but I was like, are they over delivering? What are they doing here? Right? And I was like, now they say epic raid. This is what we're going to expect. Like if they don't do something on this level, people gonna be pissed.
Yeah.
Like, you know,
Yeah.
but I
We're
love
gonna
it.
get an
I
epic
feel like-
dungeon.
Oh my God, right? That would be so amazing because I think we have been talking for like years about like what could they do to make this raid different, like maybe this door opens up, maybe like you go in and it's this whole new thing, and they've never done that. This is the first time they've done something like that, and I loved it and I want more of it. And for me answering my own question, which feel free to answer my question too, is I feel like it does help in terms of this content schedule, elevating it a little bit more and making it more beefy and making it more content heavy, which is what I feel like the community needs in order for the game to persist and thrive.
Right.
Absolutely.
So
having that raid having the raid, Epic Raid, be compared to what Final Fantasy community says are savage raids, which people kept telling me this is like a savage raid where you have a super different raid version of a raid you already did, but way more complex, totally different systems. And they were like, this is what we play in Final Fantasy. And I was like, interesting. Because I've heard nothing but fantastic things about Final Fantasy raids. And I personally like that they're leaning in this way. If they're making epic raids like this, then I won't miss another one.
I'm happy that it's not just like a master version of Rage where it's just more health, some champions.
Yeah.
Like the champion, like I like champions. They're fun to throw in here and there as an extra complication, but just adding them for arbitrary difficulty just wasn't it. Like master raids originally just did not hit as.
No, this hit different for sure.
Yeah, this. Yeah. I mean, but as I said, it's like this is now the standard.
This is the standard. Yeah, they've changed the standard. Yeah,
can they constantly hit this bar?
Yeah,
they have to now. I think they really do.
They can't afford to not hit it at this point.
I love it though, but it really is counter to sort of like the over delivery. Like, don't over deliver, because I think that they did exactly that here. I think they over delivered. They raised expectations, and I want more of it. I think it's fantastic, and I loved it. Somebody in my chat today also made the comment, and I don't know if this is actually true or not, or where they got it from, that it wasn't just an epic raid, like an EPIC raid, but it was an epic raid, like EPOCH, because it changed the story of the raid.
It did.
And I love that. I love that interpretation.
I told that as well. Like, that was one of my favorite features, is that it followed the storyline of the original raid and the lore behind it going into, and the events of Edge of Fate story as well. It followed it along very nicely. And we've not had, I don't know if we've had that before with the Prestige raid or anything like that.
Yeah.
No.
Because I can't remember.
Yeah,
I think I only did Prestige Levy once or twice. Didn't really get into raiding. Yeah, I didn't really get into raiding until
that wasn't.
That was not.
Every other Prestige raid and every hard mode before this was literally just
an extra
punch
story.
A Scion.
Yeah,
you get teleport. It was very, very simplistic. Compared to this, it's not even close. I wish they had been more upfront with that. Like, I know they didn't want to spoil it, but I wish they had said, this is, I don't know how they could have said it, but I wish they had said, this is a totally different raid or something like this.
Do you think that would have changed like community expectations though? Or like, because I know there was a lot of negative chatter going in, particularly pertaining to the not swap.
Absolutely.
And some chatter also about the changed requirements for obscuring different parts of the streaming requirements. There are a lot of changes that they made, and a lot of like kind of like quibbles and negative community sentiment. But do you think that like if they had said, well, this is going to be
my biggest issue was them saying this was another world's first race, and historically every time they've had a world's first race for a higher difficulty, it didn't make sense for it to be
people don't like that
because it wasn't the same.
Yeah,
and I even said on this podcast when they first announced that, I said, "There's no reason to have a world's first race because what are we going to do?
Know.
Are you going to make?
We already know
this entire raid. Yes, totally not worth it.
Yeah.
This is absolutely worth a world's first race.
Absolutely. I feel like the belt winner should. I mean, super proud like that. Like it was. I actually, how long did it take for them to clear the final boss? Like it was at least 2/3 of the time. I think
most of the time was
on
the final boss
encounter.
Yeah.
Like they cleared the first. All the teams were clearing the first 3. Like in very short order, because it was more about like the execution and like figuring out some minor mechanics changes, and then they got to the last encounter and people were stumped. It was
nobody
so satisfying.
knew what to do.
So
that final boss was not the like if someone were to have only done the normal version of that boss and went into the final boss of Epic, you wouldn't know what to do.
No.
You'd have a little bit of information because you can like do the thing where you walk up
The
to
little
the
mechanics, because it was like
mechanic, but
mechanics light, right? Like I mean, you can talk about that Sherpa a little bit because you know,
it's totally different.
But it was like, because I think that there, like I was watching it looked like some of the mechanics for the different like the 3 bosses that were in the final boss were like similar. There was some like baby mechanics or things that were connected.
Yeah, like tiny mini games in there for like so like you do like you do the 3 different mini games for each of the bosses, so you'd get a different crystal to shoot. So you'd have to kill the mini boss to then open the crystal to be able to shoot the crystal sort of thing.
Yep.
So, but they weren't overly complex individual. There was just a lot of different moving parts that had to be figured out, and it was a case. And because I think it also was a bit jarring because depending on what order you got to the final boss would change what order things would happen, what bosses you'd get to in the final encounter as well, what mini games you would do first.
Yeah.
So like people would be like, oh, say if someone was on the Hydra mini game first and then that's their last one, they're like, oh, how did they get through the other 2? Well, they actually hadn't. They're still on the first one, figuring that out.
Yeah.
So you have no idea where someone could actually be in that race at that point. Because they might not have followed what order they'd done it, because that didn't become apparent until later on.
Right.
There was one team, I think they had network issues. I don't know. They had gone back to orbit. And then when they went back in, someone disconnected, I think. When they went back into a different encounter.
Oh, crazy.
Yeah, they went back into Hydra instead of, what is it? The Wyvern.
Okay.
And I wasn't exactly sure why. I forgot to ask. But I found that very interesting. Like, was there a reason for that? But they're the only team that I saw who actually went to a different encounter.
I know there were teams that traded with Hobgoblin and it didn't count on their triumph, so they had to redo it.
Yeah.
Oh, no way.
A lot of people had that
I
issue.
know those one we traded with the Hobgoblin on a rerun. I think it was just on a normal, just at the end. But because we traded, it came up with the wipe screen, but we had cleared it, so we didn't get any loot for the encounter, but it had cleared and progressed the raid.
Okay.
So we went, because our order was Hydra, Hobgoblin, Wyvern. It didn't recognize that we'd done Hobgoblin, so we didn't get the Death Laser in the Wyvern encounter. We got the Detains instead, because that was the last known encounter that was cleared.
That's
I guess.
Wild.
So it just moved the order around.
Right.
It was so bizarre.
Yeah. Moving to the next question. Gray Fox asks, "What are you in your communities doing to keep the Destiny 2 play fresh and positive? Are you guys having any issues in your communities with like negative discourse or?"
Personally,
I wouldn't say
I'm not.
negative. I'd say apathetic discourse.
Yeah.
I mean, I think for me,
It's a lot of
I'm an
apathy.
established streamer, and so like I have like a very core set of moderators and regulars, and none of them are gonna be pulling any of that shit in my stream.
Right.
And like, you know, like there's definitely like joking. Like I got so I came in second in the chaos tourney for Bungie, for the Bungie Foundation, and they sent swag. And so I got this amazing mouse pad that's half Marathon and half Destiny, and like it's amazing. And I showed it on stream today, and somebody in chat was like, haha, you have a mouse pad with 2 dead games. So there's like a little bit of joking and stuff like that. But like for the most part, like it's you know, and I give the game shit all the time too. Like, but it's you know, it hasn't been, for me at least, it hasn't been super unmanageable. Like if I want to play it, I play it. We have fun playing it.
Yeah.
You know,
it's about nurturing that space and keeping it. While you obviously got the jokes, and the bit of banter around it.
Right.
There's there's the obviously toxic discourse that you see, and it's like you just stamp that out and just move on from it, because it's a waste of everyone's time. No one wants to deal with it. We play the game. We already know the state of what it's in. We don't need reminding 24/7 about what it's like.
Right. Yeah.
And it's a case of if there's an issue, sure. If there's any new updates, we play that, deliver that feedback, and do it respectfully, and then move on from that. That's all we can do, and that's all we should really be doing, is just keeping it professional, really. And then any abnormalities, any toxic little shits, you just prune them off and get rid of them. Yeah,
twist them.
Yeah,
pull them.
Don't need time. No time for that.
Yeah. We haven't had too much of that. It's just been, what you guys had said earlier, just a lot of apathy. Just like
apathy is probably the best term, because it's like,
yes,
I think Abov's video was really good on it. To be honest, I think he nailed some points on the head for a lot of people. Of him stepping back, and because it's completely fair, and I think it's very understandable with the state that it's in, that people are taking steps back, but they're doing so in a way that they're not leaving the game. And I think a lot of people are taking people stepping back as they're completely abandoning the game forever.
Yeah,
like it's like
it's not the case.
Like if you look at if you refer back to like Dado's post, it's like see you on Renegades. It's like, oh, he's gone forever. It's over. The
game is dead. Dado is left. Dad is gone to get the milk. He's not coming back.
I saw Goth post, but what if Dado doesn't Destiny?
Yeah.
It
was just like it's like the, and as he rightfully says, like the community is going to push him away from it faster than the game ever would, sort of thing. And it's that nail on the head. But it's like, I think for me the biggest surprise was Jake taking the lead from Trials. I think that was the biggest shocker to me.
Wasn't it like he was just like done?
He's not playing it for the foreseeable. He's going to try it in Renegades, but he's not chasing it. He's been doing it for 10 years, and that patience of an absolute madman. It's
everyone has their limits.
Yeah, absolutely. And again, it's perfectly understandable. Like if there's something that comes out that's good and he wants to try it, he'll give it a go. And I think a lot of people aren't taking that away from these types of posts and videos people see. And it's like, they love the game. They want the game to succeed. We all do. That's why we play it. That's why we deliver this feedback. And we're real about it. But it's not like we want it to be in this way. We're doing this because it's how it is. It's what we think of it. And it's been such a core part of so many of us for so long. We've built so many friendships and relationships through it. It's hard to say. It's like, I'm just gonna drop it forever.
Yeah,
I do wonder how the devs feel about this, though, because while we probably feel like it's take your breaks, I do wonder how the devs feel about a lot of their top creators and just creators in general just not covering the game for multiple months.
Yeah,
even then, I would find that alarming.
Yeah.
Well, it's interesting to me
alarming,
because they just Ash and Iron just came out, and they just put out the epic raid. So to have like that happen, and then on the tail of that, creators be like, "Well, I did their epic raid. I'm done. Goodbye."
And the epic raid also did not have nearly as much participation as they probably hoped.
Interesting.
How was the viewership for it? Like compared to other,
I don't know about compared, but I think they had like 9K
I went and looked around,
stream.
And it was before World's First. The highest I saw was 48K, and that sounds like a lot, but I think Astacross had like 15 of it.
Yeah,
and then a lot of the teams were. I don't know if it was just because of the way Twitch changes viewership, can only use numbers for a lot of stuff, but I don't know. But like a lot of the numbers I expected a lot of the teams in the directory to have, It was a lot less. I think like Desert Perpetual day one was like 110, 120
Okay.
before World's First. So it is a very significant drop off
Yeah.
from
Yeah.
viewership and players
Participation,
participating.
yeah.
You know.
Yeah. And who knows what it would have been like had it launched when it was intended to, and on and on and on.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I definitely think the change in the date so suddenly, like 2 weeks before, affected
That's
a
why
lot
I
of
wasn't
people.
there. It absolutely did. Yep.
Like, because we had, for our team, like, I had to swap. I'm quite fortunate in the way that I can swap my shifts around.
Mm-hmm.
I know it's terrible shifts sometimes and it doesn't always work, but the way I can take the time off is not as nearly restricted as a lot of other people.
Yeah.
But we had two people that they couldn't make it. One was essentially a funeral that weekend. So, and then they had someone else essentially, they were just not available that entire week. They already had stuff pre-planned. And I also think the shift to Saturday start was a bit strange.
Yeah.
Instead of Friday. Yeah.
Because of, I mean, I'm so happy that it's still 48 hours. I much prefer it's much healthier overall.
Yeah.
For teams. Because
Friday would have
also
made it
again
worse,
getting
you
this
think, right?
What's that, sorry?
Friday would have made it worse, you think, right?
I think because of the way time zones work, because if you say if it starts on a Friday, it's probably early on the US side, I would imagine.
It's like noon.
It's like Friday.
It'd be like 10 a.m. So it's likely people be in work on the Friday in the morning.
That's what I'm saying. Like a lot of people are like, I can't do it.
But then the flip side, you go to the Oceanics, and you've got Australia and New Zealand. They'll be a day ahead, more or less, and then they'll be ended up moving easily into Monday, and they'll start their week, so they might lose a day completely.
Yeah,
starting
like
on Saturday.
On Friday, they would have had their full weekend to participate, whereas if they started for us in the States, would have started in Saturday. If they don't clear like in a decent time, you're in there a few hours before you got to go into work Monday.
Yeah,
and I know that's historically been what people don't like is Friday raids.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
So
they tried something
it's
new.
always going to be that. It's finding that balance, isn't it, of the time? Because realistically, I definitely think 48 hours is the play, but then obviously you've got the either side. Someone's going to lose because of time zones, and it is a shame, but it's the best they can do.
Yeah. At the end of the day, I feel like the time zone issue should be centered around what's best for Bungie, because they need to deliver a raid that doesn't have error codes, 100%. That doesn't have like disconnects, that doesn't have issues. And for the most part, I didn't participate, but for the most part, from what I saw, they did an amazing job on that with this release.
Honestly, I had
that's
next
and if
to
they
no
can do
bugs.
that, great.
I much prefer a delayed raid that I cannot participate in. That is bug free and a great experience for everybody. Rather than it's convenient and right on the nose and for release, but it's like it was on the day one Desert Perpetual. It was like
no one wants
like our Hobgoblin 4 hours of it was easily just restarts from sprint bugs, exotics not functioning because the perks just stopped working, not being able to heal at all.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, what a mess.
It was.
Do you feel like they've redeemed themselves to some extent?
I think this has been a very well launched contest raid. I think it's done really well, and I think I know DMG posted, I think after the last dev stream, that they weren't going to launch the contest dungeon at launch all week one. They're aiming for week 2, which is fantastic. I think that's a really good play moving forward. And
right before Christmas, huh?
Yeah,
crazy.
Yeah, and I think it gives them time to look at the sandbox, see what's broken, see what's bugged, see what needs fixing, or banning in the sense of the ban list. And notice from the Epic raid, there was a very small ban list.
Yeah, pretty small. Yeah. I'm still stunned about Peacekeepers. Still stunned. But
I guess they knew you weren't going to be able to really use them.
I guess so.
Yeah.
You said one encounter.
Yeah.
They were like, oh,
I was surprised people are using it on the the final long phase. I mean, I guess you could use it on. I mean, I've been using it on normal,
Yes.
but
I
outside
will
of that,
say, how many teams do you think? Well, first off, did your team clear with the Sunder Doctrine exotic?
yes.
Because from every team I saw, they had to use that exotic with the bait and switch thing.
Yes, we used that. We used that and Parasite. There were our two main exotics for clearing.
I found that very interesting because I'm pretty certain
I was expecting the August Scepter to be banned. Not gonna lie, I was like,
really?
Because
of its super gen, it's really, really strong for those types of damage phases and the kind of meta we're in at the moment. Because that's currently what we're doing. It's not weapon rotations; it's ability rotations, super rotations.
It's what weapons can you use to get to the supers and abilities, right?
Yeah.
So that's crazy to me. Because it's like, what is the utility of this weapon? Oh, I'm only going to use a weapon for damage if it's broken, like the crossbow interaction that was broken, right? And then you were using that one actually for damage. But otherwise, I'm just going to pick a weapon because of its ability to generate a super.
Yeah.
Like, it's just a very weird
it's a very different trade-off.
Yeah.
I do miss the weapon rotations quite a lot.
I miss double slugs.
I really do.
Yeah, I was auto-loading with the...
I was so hoping for that to make a comeback with the original Desert Perpetual, but Blood Wolves just kind of took over on that one. Still.
Epic Dan, can you read the question from a bullet away that I've highlighted in blue in the document, please?
I know that a lot of people aren't playing D2 right now, but I feel it's getting better. Heat is gone, and I know it's going to take time to build back their rep. But I haven't given up on them. I'm still playing it, but I feel like Bungie, needs to have a face. Someone to take responsibility and tell us it's going to be okay. Tell us it's going to be okay like Joe did in that video a year or two ago. Anyone else feel that?
So a face for Destiny.
In a way, yes, because Joe did a lot of state of the game stuff, didn't he? He did a lot of those kinds of posts.
Especially when it was in trouble.
They wanted. Yes. He was very upfront with it, and he was really good at delivering those. So I feel like we are missing on an element, something like that.
I would say
would
they
go a
just
long
need
way.
someone to just tell us like what's going on.
Yeah.
I don't know if we need a face, but a face is good, but also anytime something was wrong, they always blame that face. So I understand why they probably don't want a face again.
100%.
I get that. I mean, that's why we got the Destiny 2 team.
Yeah.
Instead of like DMG or something. I get that. But I definitely think that like they need to have some more consistent line of communication, whether it be Vidox or Shade the Game. They need something to at least calm the community.
Well, and so something to that is that like with Joe, he had been a community figure for a long time, even before he was director, right? Like he was the community face.
He was the community figure for Halo. That's how I knew him.
Yeah, he was a face that we trusted and that we knew. And so when we had communication from him about like, hey, this is what we're doing, like it felt very earnest. It felt very earned. With that being said, Tyson Green, like outside of like the promotional material for Tyson, like for Edge of Fate, we don't really see a lot of Tyson Green, and like they're also not active within the community so much, at least on like a developer community relationship basis. So like I don't see that changing anytime soon, and I definitely don't see Tyson Green. I can't either, because like you just become the fall guy, right?
Do we want another? It's Jover. Like, I don't know how.
Yeah, I don't know.
About it, you know?
Yeah.
Like,
And so, like, the closest that I can think of to the face of Destiny right now is Dylan.
Yeah.
Because he's the community manager that handles all of the devs.
Patience of a saint.
Well, yeah, patience of a
probably
saint.
isn't a
He
good
takes.
thing. I don't know if that's a good thing.
I don't know if it is either. Like,
Because he can
especially in
say a
history.
lot of stuff, but like he doesn't
Yeah.
have any
I would
swing.
be
He doesn't have
afraid
any
of
like power.
history.
Yeah.
Now it's like, while DMG's voice is very needed and nice, it's sometimes I feel like it's hollow, which has nothing to do with him because he can only communicate the information, but he has no. He's not the one making the decision.
Yeah, he doesn't have the sway to.
Yeah,
doesn't have
yeah,
the drive.
Right. But like, yeah,
It
so
sucks.
it like he's just the face, and like hopefully not the fall guy for whatever happens. Something that I am looking forward to is getting back to having roadmaps for the games.
Yes.
And
Mhm.
that style of communication, that is a way that they can communicate to us without necessarily having somebody who is a face, somebody who's the voice for that, because then it's like it just exists, right?
Yeah.
There's nobody, you can't really argue with a roadmap when it's out there for you. So I'm looking forward to that. I hope that it doesn't have the same problem that we had before. I could see Justin Truman like maybe showing up and be like, "Hey guys, like what's going on?" Like he seems like an affable enough guy that he could maybe do a state of the game kind of thing, like
You
over
think
the
he
director.
does it to change the community outlook of him of being the over delivery guy? You think he does that to try
Maybe.
to like change it?
Maybe.
I mean, I can see it because
Yeah.
the moment he got announced, everyone was like, "The over delivery guy."
Yeah.
I know.
And like
So-
but then as soon as like he got in, like we start seeing these shifts from Bungie of like, you know
Yeah.
what? Yeah, like we need to listen to this heavily, and they started making like small changes here and there as the weeks have gone on to where it is definitely in a better position than it was at launch. It's just not where it's going to be when Renegades launches.
Yeah.
Right.
I think there was people were expecting a faster turnaround of that type of, like, they saw, oh, Pete's gone, Justin's in, it's going to be an immediate switch over to some new things. That's going to take a lot of time for
I don't see the switch
old.
until next year.
Yeah,
to
it's
be
going to take a lot of
honest.
time. It's going to be
Yeah.
months and months before
Yeah.
the
To
old
truly
ways are
see.
stamped out completely, and then these come in. But is it going to be too little, too late sort of thing? You never know.
Well, especially with Sony kind of
Yeah.
totally taking over now.
Taking the reins.
Yeah.
Oh man, something that happened this week. The EA.
Oh, I saw that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh
Yeah,
my
it was
gosh.
huge.
Saudi Arabia.
Yeah.
55 billion.
How many
That's-
how many companies now own video games? Now own all of video games.
My Mass
That's
Effect is gonna be.
Is it like
ruined,
5?
man.
Is it 5 organizations
That's
that
like
own
nearly
all of
all
video
the
games?
DLC's worth of Sims.
Yeah, the Sims community is imploding right now because of that.
Yeah.
It's yeah.
Not to take us off on too far of a tangent there. Just like it was nuts.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Tiddly,
Yes.
for the final question of the night, would you please read what Doomhammer?
Oh no, Dan. Why? Dan, do you know the history of this question?
No, I have no idea what this question is.
Because this question was asked in the food channel in my Discord earlier.
All right.
The question is, important question. In your opinion, what is the superior meat delivery system? And why is it tortillas?
It's a hot dog.
Why
bun.
is it?
I was about to say the buns.
The
It's got to be the buns.
The
I don't know,
buns.
man.
So,
Tacos are fucking amazing.
They
to
are.
which, okay, so food is chaos, as you know.
Food is
Dan Kennedy.
chaos.
So
is
when
chaos.
this was posted in my Discord, I was like, I'm going to bite my tongue. There's an obvious joke here, and I'm not going to make it. To which one of my moderators said, obviously, the superior meat delivery system is Tiddly's husband.
Oh.
So
That's not
that's
funny at
so
all.
thanks
All right.
for making me read that
Look,
question.
I
That's
didn't
the
know that there was
digest,
trauma
man.
involved.
Hey, yo.
There's lore.
There's lore. You
I didn't
even
know.
the
Doomhammer just put it in there, and I was like, you know what? That's a nice light question to end this off with. And now I know that I set
Light
my friend
question
up
with
for just
deeper
more
meaning.
trauma, and now I'm upset and I'm
No,
sorry.
it's fine. It was actually a really funny moment. It was really funny. And here I am holding back on making the joke, and then my moderator's just like, "Yup, that's the joke."
Yeah.
There you
Okay.
go.
Doomhammer says in chat, 20% chance you picked Tiddly for that, and you did it. God damn it.
My God, the odds go to Vegas right now. Oh my goodness. Anyway, that was really
Moolah.
funny.
It's right there.
Yeah.
Tacos are fucking delicious, though, and I will
They-
fight
Tacos are fantastic.
fight to the death.
You, can't,
For a
you
taco.
cannot go wrong with a taco.
Hard or
Okay,
soft? Hard or soft tacos?
Soft shell.
Soft shell tacos?
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah,
know.
man.
A good
like the
hard
crunch.
shell though. The crunch was a good one. I prefer the soft ones when I go to like real Mexican restaurants.
Yes. But
Yeah,
like Taco Bell,
sometimes that
Taco
yeah,
Bell
that-
hard
that
shell, I can get that.
hard- That hard shell sometimes. Oh, it's good.
It-
I can't even front.
So the thing here is that so for me, hard shell tacos are like white people taco night for
True,
from my
true.
family. And
The
like
Del Taco.
yeah, and like my mom, we wouldn't even make tacos. It would just be taco salad. We would just make the hard shell for the taco salad
okay.
thing. So it was never really tacos. It was just constantly taco salad. I do enjoy a Taco Bell hard shell taco. 100% on board with that. Like that is one of the
That
experiences
Taco
of
Bell
all
one
time.
is just,
Yeah.
I don't know. The
Right.
Doritos Locos one.
Yes.
Come on, man.
Yeah, man. I haven't tried their new menu yet, but I might have to like dip in before leaving, because it's like it goes back to like the early 2000s, like late 90s
Yep.
menu. So I'm gonna have to check that out. But yeah, for the most part, it's like we, as part of my job, where I work, we do a lot of travel around the city of Indianapolis, and sometimes we are afforded the opportunity to go to to a lot of different restaurants within Indianapolis. I can tell you in each quadrant of the city where the best taco is.
Oh.
I can now tell you that, and I will tell you every single one. Soft shell tortilla.
That's very true. Well, is it the street corn tortilla
Yeah.
or the flour
Yeah,
one?
yeah, it's like street corn tortilla. Like the flour one's fine, but street corn tortilla,
Yeah.
that's
It took me a while to come around to the street corn one because it was a bit more dry.
Mhm.
I had to get used to it, but like once you get to a good restaurant with them,
Yeah,
It
hard
is.
to beat.
Yeah.
yeah, man. They all have their place. I'm so sorry for bringing trauma upon you, Tiddly.
No, I think it's hilarious. It's all good.
As penance, you can run the show for the next 2 weeks.
Wait, hold on.
You heard it here first. Oh, wait a minute.
Look, I just want to be giving. I just want to make sure all my friends have an opportunity to run the show. Anyways, I think that's it for this episode. Thank you guys so much for coming and hanging out. Sherpa, thank you so much for coming and hanging out with us today.
That was a lot of fun. Thank you for
I know
having
it's
me.
late for you, and hopefully isn't bad on your work day tomorrow.
I'm not in work tomorrow. I'm going to the zoo tomorrow.
Hey,
a family trip.
Perfect.
I'm
Nice.
jealous.
Where can people find you on the internet, man?
You can find me on Twitch, Twitter, Blue Sky, which I need to post on more, to be honest.
Yep. Or maybe not. It could be imploding. I don't know.
Oh, well, never mind. We'll ignore that. We'll ignore that dumpster fire.
Yep.
You can find me at SherpaMind. Capital S, capital M.
All right. Perfect.
That's me.
Sammy Cat, where can people find you, buddy?
You can find me at twitch.tv/SammyCat. And I am Sammy Cat on YouTube, then Sammy Cat Plays on Twitter.
Heck yeah. Tiddly, what about you, friend?
I am twitch.tv/Tilly, Monday through Friday at 9 o'clock Central or so. You know, it's starting to get dark early and I like staying in bed. So whenever it happens.
Real.
Just whenevs.
Yeah.
Epic Dan, what about you, buddy?
You can find me at twitch.tv/EpicDan22, YouTube, EpicDan22, TikTok, EpicDan22, Blue Sky, Twitter, Instagram, all EpicDan22.
Heck yeah.
So convenient.
So convenient. My name is Danfinity, and you can find me everywhere under the handle DanfinityGG. Specifically, I would highlight Instagram there. Like, just go and follow my Instagram. I'm putting up a lot more short style content now, which has been a lot of fun. Something to put a little bug in your ear. Next Tuesday, October 7th, I will be raising money for Seattle Humane for as part of their New Path Unlocked program. To raise some money for the animals that get taken there. Awesome. So that is next Tuesday. Should be around 7 p.m. I'll see you there. I may or may not be wearing a cat onesie on the day.
Goodness.
So
that's awesome.
May or may not. You'll
there.
Just have to show up and find out. Twitch.tv/Danfinity. With that said, thanks everybody for coming and hanging out with us tonight, and we hope you find what you're grinding for.